I think all people who write have certain talents or certain predilections, and I think a thing that I've always been able to do or been relatively good at is a kind of ventriloquism where I take on another voice. So the first book that I published, This Is the Place, I was maybe 25 when I wrote it, and the narrator of that book is a 75-year-old man. I'd been working with old men, so I sort of could do that. With this voice, it wasn't that hard. You know, early on, maybe about 5 pages in, there's a description of how grammar works for this
Yeah.
girl. And she talks about semicolons as something she doesn't believe in. And so one thing I did early on is I recognized that this prose, the writing itself, had to be different than how I usually wrote. And so I looked at how I usually wrote things, and I use a lot of semicolons. So I took that away from myself. I made some grammatical changes that really changed the way things work. I made a long list of both the rules grammatically, but also the rules in her life. I surrounded myself with her things. But when I first started writing the book, I was down in the mountains near where some of the book takes place, down in the volcano lands of Oregon. And I was in an artist colony where I didn't interact with anyone. So I never had to be myself. I could always just be that girl. And that was helpful in terms of getting the voice. I think I wrote the first third of the book in a couple weeks.